and they are doing it. And they do this over and over again. Now, this latest piece of hundreds, and I want listeners to go in and contribute. They're in the Prison Planet forum. There's a link up on prisonplanet.com to the forum if you haven't been there. And let's create a thread, and there's hundreds. I mean, I'm thinking of them right now. There's so many. I can think of 3 Hollywood movies where they cut to a clock showing 9/11 in the couple years before 9/11, where they show the clock right when buildings blow up at 9/11, like saying buildings are going to blow up on 9/11. But this latest one is from the movie The Matrix. And we're going to cover this when we get back. I'm going to wrap up this esoteric discussion. Then we've got this superintendent coming on about arming teachers in schools. Then I'm going to get into the latest developments with the economy, with the nukes, with Pakistan.
Spices.
JonesReport.com is a big new development. The Matrix and other 9/11 Hollywood symbolism, JonesReport.com, Aaron Dykes. Insiders love bragging to one another about being on the inside. Perhaps that's one explanation for the abundance of Illuminati symbolism in mainstream media and corporate logos. Among these interesting references to 9/11 that have been uncovered in media release before 9/11 is a passport for Neo in the blockbuster film The Matrix, released in 1999. The passport in Neo's file shows an expiration date of September 11th, 2001, seemingly now an eerie coincidence found in the smallest of details. But guess when his passport was issued? You know, passports are issued for 10 years. It was issued on September 11th, 1991, when George Herbert Walker Bush gave his State of the Union speech calling for a new world order and 1,000 points of light, and a new world coming into view, a big idea. So you see that over and over again. It's issued on the date he calls for the new world order. His passport expires on 9/11, 2001. And what scene is this? It's in the movie when the agents that he thinks are FBI, he doesn't know it's a Matrix, grab him and take him and then put that bug, remember, literally a bug, in his stomach to track him. Remember that? And it's in that key scene while he's being interrogated, and they're looking at his United States of America, quote, capital city, USA. And, of course, they say the real capital of the United States is New York City. They call it the capital of the world. So, capital city, USA, September 11th, 2001, passport agency, United States of America. And they throw it down on the counter in front of him. You have to flip the video over on its head, which is more occultism, and then you can see it straight on. So it's backwards. And the date is September 11th, 2001. Now, this in and of itself is not that strong. But when you then find out that Chris Carter and the X-Files, 6 months before 9/11, put out a TV program, The Lone Gunman, the spinoff of the X-Files, where the government, a criminal element within the Pentagon, hijacks a jet by remote control to fly it into the World Trade Center, using remote control and blaming it on hijackers, locking down the communications of the plane, and then you find out they plan to fly it into the towers to blame it on Afghanistan and launch a war in Central Asia and the Middle East. And he starts talking to his father, who's one of the high-level shadow government people, and he says, one of the lone gunmen, he says, Dad, how are they going to cover this up? How are they going to do it? And he says, an anti-terrorism exercise. The government will be caught off guard because it's going to be done as part of an anti-terror exercise tonight. So exactly what happened 6 months later. The government did run drills of the World Trade Center, Pentagon being hit. by hijacked jets that day, and that was used as the cover. And don't forget, they had Tripod 2 of an anthrax attack going on, where they had already days before moved out of Building 7 and moved to mobile command centers so they could continue to organize and run everything even when they blew their own buildings up. I mean, it's just amazing. And then you look at 7/7. The exact trains being bombed at the exact same time, at the exact same locations, 1 out of 23 plus tretagillion, billions of times all the grains of sand in all the world. But then you see all the other 9/11 symbolism in TV and movies leading up to 9/11. Then you have The Long Kiss Goodnight in 97, big Hollywood movie, where a secret government group of defense contractors have tried to blow up the World Trade Center in 93, which is really what they did. That came out in the New York Times. And they say, but this time, the terrorists didn't do a good job for us, so we're just going to blow it up ourselves. How else are we going to get a war in the Middle East? So later in the show, I'm going to get back into this and play some of those clips. Or our great YouTube directors out there are welcome to take my analysis right now and put it in with all those clips of the Matrix and the lone gunman and all of this. And because I don't have the personnel, if you want to really wake people up, that'll be a top viral video, whoever makes that. But this is what we're dealing with here. And we've got some other examples up on JonesReport.com, the second story from the top at JonesReport.com. Now, as I said, we're going to get into armed teachers in Texas. I think it's a good idea if it's handled right. We'll find out what you think later. Superintendent joining us, scheduled to. And then we're going to get into the whole geopolitical situation and then back into the esoteric, and then Cindy Sheehan.